Welcome back to The Explainer. Usually when we jump online to check the local news, we've got major tunnel vision, right? We hunt down the specific thing we need and boom, we're out of there. But today, we're actually going to hit pause for a second. We're going to uncover the massive, complex digital architecture that is hiding right in plain sight on your standard local news webpage. We're basically looking at the invisible structural scaffolding that supports the information we consume every single day.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is the primary piece of content that actually brought us to this page. First alert forecast, warming trend starts. That is literally it. Just a super simple, straightforward weather update from NBC Los Angeles. I mean, it's the exact kind of headline millions of us click on every morning, just to figure out if we need to grab a light jacket on our way out the door. It's brief, it's routine, and honestly, on its own, it's completely unremarkable. But here's the thing. This simple little headline doesn't just float around in some empty digital void. It's actually housed within a highly engineered environment.
So I want to pose a question to you. What surrounds a single online forecast? Seriously, think about the massive digital infrastructure required just to deliver that one tiny sentence of weather data to your screen. Because around this single forecast is a sprawling web of navigation menus, corporate links, interactive prompts, and tons of legal disclaimers. It is an entire ecosystem practically designed from the ground up to capture your attention, categorize the world, and ultimately sustain a broadcast business. Let's start breaking down that ecosystem piece by piece.
All right, moving on to part 1, expanding the news ecosystem. So a local news page obviously doesn't just give you the weather, right? It acts as a massive funnel for information. It organizes the total chaos of global and local events into a nice, digestible menu for the reader. Take a look at this core news structure here. This is the primary navigation that surrounds our little weather forecast, and it shows us exactly how the station prioritizes information, both geographically and topically. It filters everything down from the macro to the micro. You've got US and world sitting right at the very top. That's your broad global context. Then it zooms into local, then specifically California. After that, it pivots to your daily interests and topical hard news, like politics, sports, and of course, weather. This menu is basically telling the viewer, hey, we have your warming trend, but we've also got everything else happening from your own backyard all the way to the other side of the globe.
Now, what's absolutely fascinating about this is the incredible balancing act happening right next to the hard news. The station doesn't just focus on the heavy stuff. Look at the sheer volume of links dedicated to totally different facets of life. On one hand, you've got serious, hard-hitting journalism represented by NBC4 Investigates and Consumer Reports. But right alongside it, literally sharing the same space, you have this massive footprint of lighthearted, engaging content, entertainment and lifestyle, California Live, The Scene, and travel and adventure. This architecture proves that a modern news ecosystem kind of has to be everything to everyone. It has to act as a tough watchdog for the community while simultaneously handing you your daily entertainment and traffic updates.
And get this, they don't just want you reading this on their website. If we examine the station's sprawling distribution network, it becomes super clear that this isn't just a standalone website. It is a multi-channel broadcast empire pushing out that forecast. On the one side, we're looking at their aggressive social media reach across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. On the other side, we see their traditional and direct reach, pushing viewers to sister networks like Cozy TV, service providers like Xfinity, and direct-to-consumer pipelines through newsletters and our apps. They are building a massive web to guarantee that whether you're scrolling your phone, checking your email, or turning on your TV, their content is sitting right there in front of you.
Let's shift gears to part 2, community and consumer action.
So, a modern digital footprint isn't just a one-way street, right? It's not just about broadcasting out, it's about bringing the audience in. Let's map out how this active, participatory layer builds a real relationship with the viewer. These aren't just links, they are direct calls to action. Step 1. Submit tips for investigations or consumer complaints. The station is literally crowdsourcing its journalism, using the community as its eyes and ears. Step 2. Send us your photos and videos. Here they are turning passive viewers into actual content creators, harvesting local media to broadcast back out to the world. And Step 3. Play the challenge and enter contests. This is pure engagement. It's designed to keep users on the site longer, interacting with the brand in a fun, gamified way. They don't just want you to passively read the forecast, they absolutely want you to participate in the broadcast.
And to make all that participation feel welcoming, they bake a very distinct, very human element directly into the site structure. Right next to the daily news, you'll find links to NBC4 in the community and Meet the News Team. They actively want to put faces to the organization. Plus, they offer actual career pathways with internships with NBC4 and Telemundo 52. This structural choice sends a really strong signal. It says the station isn't some faceless corporate entity. It's a local employer, a pillar of the community, and a group of accessible individuals working right alongside you.
Which brings us to Part 3, Legal and Corporate Footprint.
Now, if we scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the page, the footer, we hit the foundation upon which this entire ecosystem rests. Honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the dual nature of a digital news station. On the left side, we have the fun. That's the bright, public-facing content designed to entertain you, like California Live and contests. But on the right, we have the formal, the rigid, mandatory legal obligations required by the federal government. We're talking links like FCC applications and the KNBC public inspection file. You see, because they hold a broadcast license, they are legally bound to provide transparent, public access to their operational files. This isn't just optional, quirky web design. This is a strict legal requirement, living quietly at the very bottom of the page where you go to check the weather.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is that this boilerplate text represents the station's legal accountability and their ethical framework to the public. Through links like Our News Standards, they are publicly declaring their journalistic ethics. With KNBC accessibility and KNBC employment information, they demonstrate compliance with civic and labor laws. They provide a direct line to send feedback, which ensures public accountability, and they clearly offer avenues to advertise with us, establishing their commercial viability. Every single bullet point you see here is a critical pillar holding up their right to operate and report the news in their community.
Finally, we reach the data and corporate machine operating silently right behind the scenes. When you click on that warming trend, you are simultaneously engaging with a complex web of user data agreements, the privacy policy, the terms of service, the CA notice, and ad choices. These all dictate exactly how your data is collected, how it's used, and how it's monetized to serve you targeted advertising. And sitting at the absolute bedrock of the whole shebang is the copyright, NBC Universal Media LLC. This is the ultimate reminder to the viewer of exactly who owns this massive infrastructure. It is a staggering corporate machine meticulously structured to manage data, protect liabilities, and generate revenue, all while generously providing you with a free local weather update.
So, we've gone from a simple 3-word forecast about a warming trend all the way down to the bedrock of federal regulations and corporate data policies. It really makes you appreciate the sheer complexity required to deliver our daily information, doesn't it? So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Next time you jump online to quickly check the weather or glance at a local headline, will you just see the text or will you look a little deeper and see the invisible scaffolding holding it all together? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this completely changes how you view your daily digital browsing. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will see you next time.